Hi everyone, this is Dr. Ramandeep Kaur. Welcome to my channel Adept to Teach. I'd be covering the following topics under software testing. Please subscribe my channel to receive the updates and click on the bell button for notifications. If you like the video, then consider commenting and sharing.
So in this lecture, I'll be discussing data flow testing. Now this is a type of white box testing technique. That means we are going to check for code. We are looking at the internal structure of the code and we see what type of test cases are to be designed based on this particular technique. So this data flow testing is based on two things. That means it is based on variables which receive values, where they receive the values, and variables when they are used or referenced. That means these two things would be checked in data flow testing. So data flow means how is the data flowing from variable to variable. So the points, the nodes at which the variables receive the values and when the variables are referenced or used in the entire code structure. So there are three anomalies for data flow testing. First anomaly is that a variable is defined but not used or referenced. So you can see in this particular example, I have defined a variable, that is my variable is equal to 123, but I am not using the value of this variable anywhere. So this is the first type of anomaly under data flow testing. The second type of anomaly is when a variable is used but is never defined. So in this example, you can see I have not defined n2 anywhere, but I am trying to use it while calculating sum. The third type of anomaly is when a variable is defined twice before it is used. That means I have defined n1 right in the beginning, like int n1 is equal to 10, and again I am redefining it like int n1 is equal to 20, and I'm also defining n2 as integer type. So this is the statement, that means statement where I am giving the value 10, statement where I am giving the value 20 to n1. So I am defining multiple times a variable before it is used. So such type of statements are the most error prone areas in your entire code. So these are the focus area of data flow testing. So there are some terms that we will be using when we talk about data flow testing. The first term is defining node. Defining node means those statements or fragments where a particular variable receives value. That means those we correspond to those nodes of statements where a value is getting a value. So that are my definition node for that variable. Usage node means when a particular variable is getting reference to or is getting used. So those nodes where a value of a variable is utilized or called in, that is called a usage node. Then we have two more terms, that is DU and DC. DU is definition use node and DC is definition clear node. Now DU paths, that means definition use paths, are those paths wherein we have a starting node, that is the defining node of a variable. Then we have an ending node, that is a usage node of a variable. The path between starting node and ending node. So starting node is initial node, ending node, that means usage node is my final node. So the path between these two nodes becomes my definition use nodes. So in this definition use, we can have multiple definition of a variable. So maybe a variable is defined is, let's say, if it is in a loop or if it is in a conditional statement, maybe the value gets changed. Next is a definition clear path, that is the DC path. These are a type of DU paths wherein the multiple declaration of variable defining nodes cannot be there. That means a variable cannot be defined multiple times other than the initial node and final node. So in with the path in between the initial node, that is a defining node, and the usage node, that is our final node. So the path in between the define node and usage node, in between that path there should not be redefinition of the variable. If there is a redefinition of the variable, then it is not a definition clear path. If there is only one time definition of a variable, then we call that path as definition clear path. So implicitly all definition clear paths are definition use paths, but all DU paths are not DC paths. So how do we make how do we do this data flow testing, and then how do we identify those DC paths that are not DU paths, because those are the areas which are error prone areas. So first we have to make a control flow graph based on the source code that is available to us. Then we have to convert the control flow graph into the DD path graph, wherein we will condense the entire graph and we will focus on the decision node, that means decision to decision path. After that, we will prepare a table comprising of all the nodes that where a variable is defined and all the nodes where the variables are used. Then we will find all the paths between define node and usage nodes. At last, we will identify all the DU paths that are not DC paths. So I'm considering a triangle problem which has a triple of sides, that means triple of positive integers with A, B, C representing their sides, and the values lies between 1 to 100. Then the output can be scalene, isosceles, equilateral, not a triangle, invalid outputs. Now first of all, I will have to make a control flow graph for the source code. So I have the source code. Every line in the source code will represent the control flow graph, or we represent the node in the control flow graph. So line number 1 represents node number 1, line number 2 represents node number 2, and so on. So this entire control flow graph is made looking at the code. So I have 37 lines of code. So in all I have as of now 37 nodes, and all the edges represents that whether the one node flows to the next node, or it is a sequential node, or it is a decision node. So this entire structure is made based on the source code. Second step is we have to make a DD path graph looking at the previous graph. So if we see the previous graph, then node number 1 is the starting node, node number 2 to 9 can be my sequential node, or I can also write node number 1 to 9 as my sequential node. So I'm condensing those nodes so that my focus becomes my decision nodes. Decision nodes are those nodes which have two outgoing arrows. So like 10 is a decision node with two outgoing arrows as 11 and 15. So 11th is my decision node with two outgoing arrows, 12 and 15, which means if true, then it will go to 12. If false, then it will go to 14. So this is how I am going to give more focus on decision nodes rather than my sequential nodes. So we will write down all the nodes, we will give them a new numbering, and we will also write the remarks very carefully so that when we are making the DD path graph, we can identify that which was a conditional statement from where to where the edges have to be made, the flow has to be redirected to. So based on the new numbering, that is ABCD, we will make a new flow graph. Now you can see here the size of the flow graph has reduced from the size of the control flow graph. So now our main focus will be here in this technique is DD path graph. So DD path graph in itself is also a technique of white box testing. So we make this graph. After that we can identify easily the number of independent paths, and we can calculate the cyclomatic complexity also. That means in all we will have 7 paths, so 7 test cases. If we make properly, then the entire source code is checked properly. Now once this testing is done, next part we have to do is we have to identify all the variables, and we have to see where those variables are defined and where those variables receive the value. So looking at the entire coding, we can see that in the entire program we have 4 variables, A, B, C, and valid input. So now I have to make a table which have the following columns: variable defined at node and used at node. So I have written all the variables that are defined that I have in my entire program. Now I will identify that at what node number these variables will be defined. So let's say at let's try to see our source code and identify where the variables are defined. Defining means when the variables receive a value. If I do not give a value to a variable, then it is basically the declaration of a variable. So we are concerned about defining of a variable. So here in this program, the variable A is defined at node number 5. So at node number 5, it gets the value. So I have written here node number 5. Likewise, in the entire program, if I see, there is no redefinition for variable a. So nowhere a is receiving value again. It is only used, it is only referenced to. Then I will go with variable b. So let's see where the variable is getting value. It is at node number 7. So node number 7 is the defining node for variable b. Next I have variable c. So let's see, variable c is getting value at node number 9. So I have recorded these values here in the table. Now next is our variable valid input. Now right in the beginning where the other variables were declared, valid input was defined. So it was getting a value of 0 right at node number 3. So node number 3 is the defining variable for valid input. So I have written it node number 3. Now if we look at the program again, it is this variable valid input is getting the value, getting the getting a new value again. That means it is getting redefined. So it is getting redefined at node number 12, wherein I have written valid input is equal to 1, and node number 16, where I have written valid input is equal to -1. So this is basically the redefinition of my variable valid input. So I have to record these values as well because these are also the defining node. So 3, 12 and 16 becomes the defining node for valid input. Next we have to identify the usage node. So we see first variable a, and let's see where after the defining node it is referenced for the first time. So it is referenced at node number 10, then it is referenced at node number 11, and after that it is referenced at node number 19, then node number 22. So these are the usage node for it. So I have recorded here 10, 11, 19 and 22. Likewise I will do for all the variables which are here in my source code. Once this table is made, step 4 is now I have to identify all the DU paths. I have to first make paths between all the variables, then that means defining variable and the usage variables. After that I have to identify those DC paths which are not DU paths. That means those variables which are getting defined multiple times between the definition node and usage node. If there is such type of node, then we will call it as only DU path. They are not DC paths. So those would be my statements which have to be tested carefully. So first, how we are going to make this path. So if we again go back and look at this table, then we will have to identify the path between node number 5 and node number 10 for variable a. So first I will identify the path between node number 5 and node number 10 and whether the variable a has been redefined or not. Then I will check for node number 5 and 11, considering node number 5 as my starting node, that is my initial node, and for the first case node number 10 as my final node, then for the second case node number 11 as my final node. Then I will look on for paths between node number 5 and 19 and then node number 5 and 22. Likewise I will make for all the variables. So I have made paths between all the variables. Now looking at this diagram, I can identify whether there is a valid path between 5 and 10. So starting from 5 and looking at 10, yes, there is a valid path. Then 5 and 11. So if this value holds true, then yes, this path will hold. So we have to check that whether the path which we have written here exists or not. After identifying that, now we will have to check for those paths which are not DC paths. So again we need code for that. So looking at that, if I see node number 5 and node number 10 for variable a. So let's see node number 5 where the variable was receiving the value and node number 10 where it is referenced for the first time. In between this entire statement, that means starting from 5 to 10, we do not see any redefinition for variable a. So yes, it is a DC path as well as a DU path. Likewise, I will check for 511. So checking the next statement, that is 511. So I am checking this path 5 to 11. Again, there is no redefinition of variable a. There is only multiple usage, but not redefinition. We are worried about multiple definitions of a variable. So here there is no redefinition of the variable. So again, I will mark in the table that yes, it is also a DC path. Likewise, I'll do for all the paths. Now, when we come to valid input variable, here let's try to see node number 3 is basically my starting node for node number 3 is the starting node for my valid input. So this is the starting node, and node number 18, I have to refer to node number 18. So in between this, I have to check for whether there is a redefinition of the variable or not. So if I see the code, then at node number 12 and at node number 16, this value is redefined. So there is a redefinition. Whether you go for if part or you go for else part, there will be a redefinition for the variable. So if there is multiple redefinition of a variable other than the starting node, so starting node was valid input is equal to 0. So other than the starting node, if there is a redefinition in between from starting node to usage node, then we will not call it as a DC path. It is not my DC path. So I have recorded here, it is not a DC path. Likewise, I will check for 3 to 29. So this is my third statement and this is my 29th statement. So I have to look for path in between this. Again, there is a redefinition at 12, at 16. So in either of the case, the statement will come up. So again, this path will not be my DC path. Likewise, I will check for all the paths. So looking at the table, we have identified in all there are 4 paths which are not DC paths, which are worth testing. So we have to do thorough testing on these paths. So in all we have 18 DU paths, and we have 4 DU paths which are not DC paths. So that is how we have to do data flow testing.